Now, when I had heartburn, was it a day or so ago? It felt like there was fire shooting up in my mouth, man. I hate when that happens, and probably like you, right? It's like you get that, and it's like Jesus Christ, what the hell did I eat? What's up, everybody? It's Wellness Week Live. I am your host, DJ Anthony. No, I'm not a doctor. I am a DJ, not a DR. And I'm not giving any medical advice. Always check with your healthcare professionals because what the hell do I know? But I'm a human like you. So let's talk about your heartburn, my heartburn today. Oh, yeah. Heartburn. That's today's topic. Look, it says it right there. Look at that. 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 Hey. Okay. So heartburn. I think everyone's got it. I don't know. It seems like, you ain't American if you ain't got heartburn, y'all. So now, here's the funny thing. I'm going to take a hypothetical guess here and assume that us Americans have cornered the market on heartburn. How do I know this? Well, because us Americans have the shittiest diets on earth. Okay, so it's not by chance, not by luck, it's not by genetics. It's we eat shit and we have a shit lifestyle. Us Americans, generally speaking, and this is why heartburn is so prolific in this country. So, what is heartburn? So let's bring it back a little bit. So, our stomachs produce acid. Now, I gotta tell you that the human body is miraculous. So, our stomachs have acid that is literally like industrial strength acid, and this acid can really just pulverize and it vaporize almost anything that it comes in contact with. So we chew our food, and it goes into our esophagus to our stomach. Now that the acid. By the way, this green light behind me pisses me off. I'm blue, red. Okay. Anyway, so the acid that our stomach has, its job is to dissolve the food. Now, whether you chew your food thoroughly or not, your body is going to get on it and take care of it. The acid is that powerful, and it's industrial strength type of acid. And it is amazing how a pouch like the stomach can contain this and not dissolve. However, it's not made to be put in our esophagus. That's the problem. And the reason why acid reflux or GERD, gastroesophageal, what is it? Gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD, acid reflux, same thing. Is a reason why this is a problem is not because it just feels hot, it feels bad. It's a problem because if you don't treat it or change your lifestyle somehow, it can cause cancer. So that's the problem. It causes cancer in the your esophagus, or even further up, depending on how bad you get it, depending on how bad that acid leaches or goes up into your esophagus or your mouth. That's how dangerous this acid is, and how, not to get into this topic, but how does it cause cancer? It basically erodes the esophagus and makes a changing on the cellular level so rapid because your body has to make new cells because it keeps on burning the old cells, and there's a high turnover of cells, and that essentially genetic mutation, rolling the dice over and over and over and over and over again, making new cell linings for your esophagus because of the acid rotting it away, can lead to a higher propensity or possibility of cancer. That's why we want to stop this acid reflux. That's why it's a problem. Now, if you're having acid reflux like once every 2 weeks, once a month, maybe once a week, and just a little bit of a burn, not really an issue. But if you're having it more than once a week, yeah, it's an issue now. Yours truly, I tend to have it more than once a week, but I don't want to be put on medications. Over the counter is one thing, but I really am taking a concerted effort to manage what I'm eating or what I'm not eating, how I'm eating, when I'm eating. These all matter. So anyways, that's what heartburn is. It comes from the stomach acids. Now, because God's ingenious, there is a device that is at the top of the stomach or the bottom of the esophagus. It's a little trap door. It's a little kind of a muscle that when you eat, the food goes in. After it goes in, it shuts. That's called the sphincter. Cue in the jokes. Because, there's that green light again, damn it. So the sphincter, there's two of them, one between your butt cheeks and the other at the top of the stomach or lower esophagus. I don't like to say sphincter. It sounds so naughty and nasty. So I'm just going to say the trap door. So it's kind of like that. It's a door of sorts. It's a little bit of a muscle that opens and shuts. So what happens is we get the heartburn because once we eat, right, or drink, whatever, goes into the stomach, and then our stomach, the trapdoor shuts. However, what we eat, how we eat, when we eat, or what we drink, or how we drink, or depending how heavy we are, can open up that trap door, and that's the problem. There's no food coming down. There's nothing coming down. So guess what? Things start to percolate and bubble up or splash up, and that's up here. That's your heartburn. Okay, and they say heartburn has nothing to do with the heart. It's just that it feels like it's in the center of your chest, the heart. So now, what makes this trap door open? That's the problem, and we do it to ourselves. So let's start off with this. So, what we eat. If we're eating fried foods, bad. That's going to cause acid reflux. If we're eating, now you may have one of these or none of these. If we're eating, ironically, if we're eating foods that are high in good fats, like for instance, olive oil, that's good to eat. However, if you eat too much of it, yours truly, then that relaxes that trap door, and then the shit starts to bubble up and up into the throat. So you want to eat olive oil, but not like a cup a day, which is like kind of what I was doing, and that was really giving me heartburn. Not the olive oil, but it was relaxing that sphincter, that trap door. Bad. Okay, cigarettes, bad, because cigarettes, among other things, although cigarettes are a vasoconstrictor, they work in the way to open up. But within them opening up that trap door, that's because it's constricting down on, veins, arteries, and things like that, which is kind of stretching, opening. It's shutting down, pulling, but opening up that sphincter. So cigarettes open up. Alcohol relaxes the sphincter, opens it up. That's a problem. So big problem. Okay. So then, all right. So now, those are the things that are going to cause this relaxation in that trap door. So caffeine, chocolates, anything spicy, any kind of citrus. Now, that's not going to relax the sphincter, but that's going to make more acid in the stomach than you need. This is the citrus fruits, your oranges, your apples, alcohol, things like that. Although alcohol will also relax the trap door, but it also makes more acid. So these are things we want to watch out for. A couple other things I would say is also bad fat. So if you're eating fat like trans fat or, things like that, that's going to also make more acid because your body has to work harder to dissolve that. Okay. So the foods you do want to eat, this is a little tricky. So foods you do want to eat are oatmeal, veggies like sweet potatoes, beets, broccoli, asparagus, ginger, yogurt, lean meats, your lean chicken, stuff like that, not fried. Nuts and seeds that help soak it up, so to speak. Now, bread is great if you have heartburn. The only problem with bread is shit. Bread is garbage. It really is crap. So, and it's an inflammatory. So it's a short-term relief, but a long-term problem. Bread. I would stay away from bread. I would just, stick to the sweet potatoes. And you can say, oh, there's low starch and sweet potatoes. Yeah, but again, it's natural. God made over man made. So those are some of the things you can eat. I'd also say, take it from me, eating slowly and shutting your mouth when you chew. Okay, so that you're not gulping air. That will help. And chewing your food till it's a puree in your mouth. This way your body doesn't have to overcompensate by producing too much acid. So you really, 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 really want to chew your food, to a mush in your mouth with your mouth closed, and make sure, you're drinking water. Stay away from sodas, stay away from the alcohol, stay away from carbonated drinks. I'm a fan of carbonated seltzers and like that, but if you're having heartburn, guess what carbonation is going to do? It's going to make things bubble and pop. You don't want that. Okay. So those are some of the foods you can and can't eat or should or shouldn't eat. Now you may say, what kind of goddamn life is that? How am I going to live? Well, then don't bitch about heartburn, dude. Shut up. That's it. And if you think, well, I'm going to take these pills. Okay. But understand, even over the counter, if you take a pill, it solves one problem, but gives you 5 new ones. Read the back, the side effects. So I think it's a lot better for you and me to, modify what we're doing, see what works and what doesn't work. You may be allergic or have more sensitivity to certain things. Now I know, like for damn sure, if I can't have pasta sauce. Like if I'm eating pasta sauce, it's a wrap, son. And I'm Italian, but pasta is also garbage anyway. So, but anyways, yeah, like pizzas, like I got to take a prophylactic, Pepsid, So now talking about Pepsid and Tums and Prilosec, these are over the counter drugs. They work differently. I mean, your calcium is going to be an antithesis to acid, right? It's going to be more neutral. So you can take a calcium pill, chewable. The only problem is when that wears off, your body overcompensates and starts pumping out more acid. So it's really a band-aid. Now, something like a Pepsid or a Prilosec, those are better because they have, especially Pepsid, it has kind of dual function. It has the fast, rapid kind of calcium, and on the other side, it has a proton pump inhibitors where it kind of plugs the volcanoes that spew out the acid in our stomach. That's good, but again, you're dealing with a drug. So it'd be better to go natural, to, again, watch what you eat, also lose weight. The heavier you are, the more heartburn you're going to get, generally speaking. Why? Because when you're heavier, that visceral fat and that weight is pushing up against that stomach wall. And guess what it's doing? It's squeezing that acid up into the throat. So if you're overweight, and I'm not even talking about obese, just overweight, that will also contribute to acid reflux. Okay. So it's things, to think about. It's nothing personal. It's just science. So the other thing I would say is how we sleep. So if you sleep on your left side, on your left arm, that's better than sleeping on your right arm, because when you sleep on your left arm, your stomach is bent. The esophagus is bent. So when you sleep on your left arm, you're making it harder for that acid to go up. It has to go up. It's in that divot, that bend. So it can't make its way up. But if you sleep on your right side, you're dumping everything back in to your throat on your right side. So you're going to see you'll have more heartburn if you sleep on your right arm than if you sleep on your left arm. That's just basic anatomy, the way the stomach and the esophagus is bent. So how you sleep. Also, if you sleep on your back, that's okay. But if you're lying flat on your stomach or flat on your back, you're going to have acid potentially seep out of that trap door. So you want to sleep a little bit elevated, your head, really your chest. You don't have to be 90-degree angle, but if you can sleep with your head up a little bit or your chest up a little bit, that will help you because it'll keep the acid down. We want to keep the acid in our stomach. That's where it belongs. God made the stomach to handle the acid. God didn't make the esophagus to handle the acid. Okay. Tip. Water's okay too. Drinking water helps dissipate, no doubt. I would also say that foods you want to eat. I think we talked about it, right? So oatmeal's great. Your broccoli, your yogurts, things like that. Okay. The other thing I would say is the time that we eat. So whatever time you go to bed, eat 4 hours prior. Because if you're eating an hour before you go to bed, you're going to get heartburn more than likely. Also, the amount of food you eat. If you gorge yourself at a big meal or a heavy meal, heavy meaning like, I don't know, like beef stroganoff with mashed potatoes and, heavy cheesecake. And then you go to bed, your body's going to break that down no matter how good you chew. So you want to eat smaller meals and you don't want to eat too close to bedtime. So I would say 4 hours out. You don't want to eat an hour before you go to bed. You want to try to eat 4 hours before you go to bed, and then that will give you a stomach. And you want to try to sit up the whole time, sit in your chair, watch television, or, upright position to digest perfectly. You don't want to eat and then lie down. You're going to get acid reflux. So a lot of this is mechanical. A lot of this is nutritional. A lot of this is what you're eating and not eating, drinking, not drinking. And that's the problem. It's not some genetic, magical, bad luck thingy. It's really how we live, What else? I would also say, check with your doctor. But again, check with a dietitian too, because it's how, or even a fitness trainer. Not that they're not gastroenterologists. Obviously, if you got to go to the doctor. But I would say exhaust everything you can before you start popping pills. Because again, a pill solves one problem, but gives you 5 new ones. So, anyways, I think I covered everything. I'm handling my heartburn better. It sucks because I've cut out a lot of stuff that I normally would like, but I got to ask myself, hey, do I want to be on pills that are going to give me more side effects, or do I want to be natural? And I got to say, I've come a long way. I cut my red sauce out, and pasta is bad for you anyways. It's inflammatory. I cut out caffeine. I used to be a big coffee drinker. Now I'll do decaf, but even decaf, by the way, has some level of caffeine in it. So you got to be careful. So what I'll do is, like, if I go to usually like a 7-Eleven or a Quick Check, I'll do like half caffeinated, half decaf coffee and the other half hot water. and then I'll put whatever, just a little bit of cream in there, and that's fine. But like I said, chocolate can give you, heartburn. So I try to cut down on my chocolate, try to cut down on the and no more caffeine. Also, I was cutting out the caffeine because of just panic attacks. But anyways, caffeine, red sauce. What else? Certain teas can give you heartburn. And the thing is, again, heartburn's serious. It's not because it just burns, but do you want esophageal cancer? No, you don't. So cut the shit. You know what I mean? Take care of yourself. Losing weight, that's a big one too. Getting up, moving a little bit, getting some moderate exercise every day. So what we eat, how we eat, when we eat, what we drink, even if you're drinking alcohol once a week, and if you're getting heartburn 2 or 3 days from that, stop the alcohol. Your body will thank you. So that is it, folks. I mean, tell me how you're doing with your heartburn. I hope you're doing well, but there's a lot we can do. So read up on it for yourself. Our bodies are Ferraris. We put premium fuel in the Ferrari, not shit fuel. We treat our Ferraris, we tune them up, we take care of them. Okay. So I don't want you popping pills if you don't have to, but look at your diet, look at what you're eating and not eating, look at what you're drinking, not drinking, look at how you're eating, when you're eating, how you're sleeping, things like that. Lose a little bit of weight. You got to. It's good for you at many, many different levels. But that's it, folks. Don't forget, if you know someone that's got goddamn heartburn, share this with them. Me too. I struggle with heartburn. You know what I mean? I'm doing better. Goddamn, doing better. So, but yeah. And by the way, you can't be taking these over-the-counter Pepsids and stuff like that like it's candy. Read the back. Like, it's maybe 1 or 2 tablets a day, and that's it. And you can't be living on that. So again, you really got to moderate what you're doing. And your body will thank you for it. You know what I'm saying? No one's saying don't live, but see what combination works for you. Because you might be able to have chocolate and coffee, but you can't have, orange juice or pasta sauce. Or maybe you can have pasta sauce, but the coffee bothers you. You know what I mean? So tweak it and see what happens. Take an interest in yourself. You deserve the best. Okay. So anyways, thanks everybody. Check back in, share with somebody you love. We got another bunch of goddamn great shows coming up. Click this, click that, and you know what I'm saying. All right. So I think I'm done. I'm signing us off. 5, 4, 3, 2.